After having played Call of Duty World War II, it seems only natural for me to transition over to Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. While Wolfenstein takes part in a future way past the Second World War, it explores an alternative history in which Nazi Germany won and conquered the whole world. I love this idea because it takes an old setting and gives it a new spin. Honestly, I would love to see more of these ideas which celebrate thinking outside the box. I'm still waiting for a game which will make the Nazis the good guys and other things in that direction. Just feed me crazy new scenarios and watch me go. Absolutely love it. The New Colossus is a direct continuation of the previous game and continues the saga of William Joseph Blaskowitz. If you have not played Wolfenstein: The New Order, I advise you to do that first, since this way you will have a better idea of the story and be able to enjoy the game to its fullest. In the beginning, you still get a recap of the previous story and a chance to inform the game which timeline you wish to play. There was a choice early in the previous game which forced you to choose which one of two characters gets to live and which one will die. This choice had a minor effect on the story, but is relevant because that character will still be alive in the story of this game here. Once you have made that choice again and finish watching the recap intro, you will get to play the game. Wolfenstein is not the perfect game, so as per usual, I will begin by addressing its flaws and then move on to the positives. Early on, you will be introduced to a new character, the main antagonist's daughter, an Aryan female Nazi a bit on the heavy side. Her mother is the now General Irene Engel, a very charismatic and sociopathic antagonist. She's just as cruel to her daughter as to her enemies. We're given to understand that Sigrun, the name of the new character, is nothing like her mother and can already smell that she will become an ally very soon. Sigrun is also related to the first major flaw of the game. She's German, but her grasp of the German language is insufficient. This is a problem we saw in Call of Duty World War II as well. An important and clearly German character does not speak proper German. The grammar's fine, but the pronunciation is that of a person who has no idea what these words mean and how they're even supposed to sound. This is a critical flaw and absolutely unforgivable. It seems AAA titles still suffer under this easily solved problem. Take a look at Frau Engel, the main antagonist of the game. Her voice acting is stellar. Her German is clearly on mother tongue level. Her English is excellent. A truly impressive voice actress. The fact of the matter is that Sigrun is a much more boring and simple character. I can't even tell if the actress voicing her is very good or not. This is mainly because the character itself is designed to be weird and different from all the other Nazis in the game. My point is that they could have surely found a German voice actress to record her lines, even if that actress does not come even close to the impressive performance of Nina Franosek, who voiced General Engel in the game. Immersion is important, and hearing a supposedly German person speak weird or broken German feels out of place. This is made especially bad since literally every other character in the game is nailed when it comes to voice acting. The other Nazis all speak perfect German, the other nationalities on your submarine also have proper accents, etc. Wolfenstein has always been a very tongue-in-cheek game when it comes to its presentation. There are serious topics covered, but overall the game feels like an old-school action movie from the times of Schwarzenegger and Stallone. You are almost invincible, you crack jokes as you mow down hordes of enemy soldiers. I love that about it, and I love the fact that the series has evolved and has still managed to retain its core gameplay. It has, however, also expanded it greatly and now features a very interesting and original story. The story is presented in a great way through gameplay, cinematics, but also in the shape of letters, postcards, newspapers, and other written materials. The problem here is that those are not read out to you. This means that you are playing a fast-paced action game and suddenly you find an interesting letter and have to take your time to calmly read it. This pulls me out of the action and feels like it messes with the dynamic of the game. Those things should have been read out to you while you kill things, as in some other games. What did happen here was that I ended up mostly skipping them and therefore missing a lot of interesting facts and small bits of information. Your base of operation is the submarine called Eva's Hammer. It's a huge war machine armed with nuclear weapons. Unfortunately, this makes the hub area in which you are between main missions quite large and confusing as well. It is understandable that a U-boat cannot be simple to navigate to due to the nature of such vehicles and its shape, but it does end up being annoying at times. I just got lost too many times trying to find certain locations. This is one of those cases where less freedom would have been better for me. There's just too much space and too many characters all over the place. If you are like me and enjoy listening to the little conversations and the side missions which they can give you, you We'll have to go through each of them after every single mission in hopes of having unlocked new content, and most of the time there will be something new to see or hear, so the game incentivizes you to go around the maze that is Eva's hammer after each mission. The game features a few memorable missions where some great things happen, and one of them actually involves meeting Adolf Hitler himself. I love this scene, but I found it quite strange that William would not try to kill the leader of the Empire. Obviously the story continues and his death is planned for another game's ending, but they could have at least made it so that you try to kill him and fail. This seems off character for BJ. The new Colossus seems to have been influenced by its main competitor since time immemorial, namely Doom. The last Doom game was epic and deserves all the love it got from critics and fans alike, and there's no shame in drawing inspiration from it. One of the things that struck me as an unnecessary addition was the inclusion of a BFG clone here, the Übergewehr. My main issue with this weapon is that one elite enemy type known as the Zerstörer actually uses this weapon, however it seems far less effective when used by him than by you. It just makes no sense that the weapon will behave differently when in your hands from when it's in the hands of the Zerstörer who dropped it a few seconds ago. Other than that, I think it's awesome. At the later stage of the game you have to choose between 3 special upgrades. The choice mainly involves how you will traverse the levels but also has secondary features. One enables you to crush weakened walls by charging through them, the other one to boost yourself up and reach high places, while the last contraption allows you to squeeze through super tight openings, which by the way looks awesome in the first person. It took me a while to make that choice the first time, since I assumed that this will be something similar to how some skills in Deus Ex would allow you to tackle levels in different ways, but as it turned out later, all the points at which the main functions of the contraptions can be used have all 3 entry types. Essentially there's no real advantage when it comes to choosing one over the other from an entry point of view. I did like that later you can actually find the other 2 contraptions as well and have all 3 simultaneously though. I've mentioned how Blazkowicz acted out of character by not even attempting to kill Hitler, but it surprised me even more how he has no problem with his pregnant wife fighting hordes of Nazi soldiers and super soldiers. Though he constantly worries about her and explains how much he loves her, he has not objected even once when it came to letting her fight, and even has no objections when she's teamed up with a crazy person or a person with a mechanical arm which has murderous tendencies. The weapons are fun, and thanks to the upgrades and the option to dual wield, killing enemies is fun and doesn't get boring. You even have the opportunity of taking special heavy weapons like the Übergewehr. What I did dislike here is that there cannot be upgrades for these special weapons. I feel it's a missed opportunity. Additionally, BJ seems to drop these weapons when climbing ladders. I understand that this is in order to limit him, but there could have been just reduced amounts of ammo for these weapons so that you have no ammo at some point and you throw the weapon out of your own accord rather than just having to climb a ladder and having dropped the weapon behind yourself. That would have been a more natural way of limiting it. If my viewers watching this review have played the last Doom game, they will remember the awesome music which got your blood pumping. The new Colossus has many good tracks, but also some more boring ones. Its biggest fault, however, is that they did not nail the volume. Aggressive music, which should get your blood pumping and fire you up for the upcoming fight, should be louder and not require me to lower all the effects so that I can increase my speaker's volume and hear the music loud enough. They got it right in Doom, here it needs improving. Since I've also had the chance to play the first DLC, I have to say that it was quite disappointing. One part of it just lets you replay arena fights from the story, the other one tells the story of 3 new heroes, but it feels like it's just recycled everything from the main game. It wasn't bad, but it was super short and repetitive. I would recommend people wait for all the DLCs to come out and then get them in cheap bundles, because it looks like there will be a story to tell here, but one can't get much out of this first DLC. So again, wait it out, get all of them in a bunch, and then pay less for them and have more fun with it. Right now it just feels like they're feeding you crumbs, and it's absolutely not worth it in my opinion. We've concluded that the game isn't perfect, but it's still a damn good game. It works on many levels. On a technical level it looks and sounds great, the loading times are very short, the frame rate is stable. The game offers some side missions, most of which will tell a bit more about the story and are very entertaining. The cinematics are also awesome and often over the top, adding to the charm of the game. The gameplay could use some more variety, but it's still fun, and just when you feel like it's beginning to get stale, you suddenly find yourself riding on the back of a giant flame-breathing Panzerhund. The story is crazy and mixes in a lot of awesome humor and great twists. It tells you more about William's early life as a child, it gives you a deeper look below the hard shell of the protagonist, and exposes his feelings as he fears for his wife and unborn children, and as he battles on through physical and emotional pain. A great story through and through, and it would only be half as good without a great protagonist and the likable remaining cast. The only one I did not like was the leader of the Manhattan Resistance cell, called Grace Walker. She's supposed to be a strong black female in the game, but comes off as bossy and bitchy. The one character without whom the story would not work is General Irene Engel. The antagonist of the story is brilliantly written and voiced. It adds to the value of the writing that it's a female antagonist, yet she manages to be just as menacing as any well-written male I have seen. The game shows great attention to detail. The collectibles all explain more about the story and address some of the interesting things regarding the level design and some conversations you can hear the enemy soldiers have when they don't know you're there. The game also features stealth, and while it is implemented as a side idea, it's still fun and works well enough. I've also liked the fact that your choice from the previous game also leads to 2 timelines here, making the game worth replaying. This involves getting a new weapon in each timeline, new side missions, and many entertaining cinematics. Wolfenstein is often credited as the first-person shooter and the father of the modern-day shooter in general. Let's just stop for a second and think how long it's been since that game came out and how the series has continued to improve and evolve. This is one of the few such examples and absolutely worthy of your time and admiration. Well done, Machine Games, keep up the good work. This is the end of my review of Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. I hope it's been informative and entertaining. I've enjoyed making it because I love the game and the series as a whole. I can't wait for the next one and would love to hear your opinion about the game in the comments section. Thank you for watching and have a great day.